Hi guys, welcome to day number 3 of Ignite Your Fitness and Fat Loss. Wasn't day number 2 cool? Did you get all the takeaways from the exercise stuff? I kind of made a little promise to you, or I hinted at, like I hope you were as excited about the information as I was, because when I learned it, it kind of blew me away. That I didn't know the information before. It actually kind of made me feel angry at one part of me, because like I exercised the wrong ways for such a long time, and I exuded like all the wrong efforts to try to get the result I was after. So just to recap one more time, what we learned yesterday in the exercise video was that when it comes to fat loss, steady state cardio or constant cardio doesn't work, right? Doesn't work. The research proves it does not work. Then what works one notch better is interval training, right? Doing where you spike yourself up and then back down, spike up and back down, spike up, back down. The next best way to get a better fat loss result is to incorporate strength training, right? You add strength training, that's adding the muscles to your body. Not that you're getting bulky or anything, so we're not after that. We're just after adding metabolism, and you get your metabolism by your muscle. And then we learned finally that when you do explosive strength training in a circuit format, you can literally get 9 times the fat loss result, which is incredible, right? That's, I think, what we're all here for, what we're all after is getting this amazing fat loss result. And now we know the secret, the hack, whatever you want to call it, to how to get a better result in less time than you can do any other way, by doing the circuit or strength training in a circuit format when we're doing explosive movements, which is what you experience. I'm sure you've already had a couple workouts here with us at Altman Fitness. And anyway, just look at how we write our workouts. The way that they're all written, there's the explosive exercise done in a circuit format, but there's even more than that. Some things I didn't even tell you yesterday, which are things like decreased rest intervals. Sometimes we do small rest intervals. Sometimes we do longer ones. We change up the workouts from Monday, Wednesday to Friday, week to week to week. You're never repeating the same exercise plans, and that's part of a muscle confusion plan. All these things are written in there to help you get the fastest fat loss result you possibly can, okay? That said, let's move on. Now we're to day number 3, and in day number 3 I'm very excited because today is all about the nutrition, how to eat for fat loss. And I know you're probably very excited. I'm excited to teach you about today, and because today is where it's at. When we get all the exercise right, I want you to know that it accounts for approximately 20% of your fat loss result. Today's talk accounts for about 80%, all right? It's a big, big deal. So pay attention, take notes, watch information, do the task after the video, and you're gonna learn a lot. This is gonna teach you more than any other thing. Watch it 2 or 3 times if you need to. Again, this is where most of your fat loss results gonna come from, and I'm gonna point out to you exactly what are the important components when it comes to nutrition, how to put your food together in a way that's going to help you for a fat loss result, all right? That said, let's get started on the video. Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video of the Ignite Your Fitness and Fat Loss program, we're talking all about nutrition. This is probably the one you've been the most excited about, right? I thought so. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about it, but before, I just kind of wanted to give you a little frame, okay? And what I mean by that is, what we're doing is you're going from your A body, that's the body you live in today, and what we're trying to do is take you from this body over here to the B body, okay? So we've already talked about exercise, and you know all about that, and you know exactly what to do. This is the nutrition component, and when we first learned about fat loss, we learned that there is this triangle, and inside the triangle is the happy you, okay? Now, there are 3 major components to losing weight, right? The first one is right here, cardio, okay? And from the exercise video, you learned all about what cardio to do and what cardio not to do, right? Right. Okay, the second component, second part of the triangle is this. Strength. And then we also learned in the exercise video about strength work. In fact, we learned that if you do explosive strength training in a circuit format, you can burn about 9 times more fat. That is so powerful, so powerful. And that's exactly what's going to happen with us here at Altman Fitness, okay? So the third component then, what we're talking about today, right, is this one. Now, this component, the nutrition component, is by far your most important component, okay? This is the one that's going to really make you get the fast results. And this is also probably the one you're the most confused about, right? But this one right here, we really got to focus on. I'm going to put an exclamation point, and I mean, I just can't really highlight this enough, how important the nutrition component is when it comes to losing fat weight, okay? And I put it at the bottom for a reason. This is the foundation of the rest of the triangle. Without this, you're not going to get the fat loss result that you want or that you're hoping for, okay? You just can't do it. There's an old saying you probably heard, you cannot out-train a bad diet, okay? You cannot out-train a bad diet. It's just true. So you got to really tune into the nutrition. Now, in the nutrition component, there are essentially 3 different ways that you can put the food together so that you can get a fat loss result, okay? And I'm going to talk you through those right now. Okay, so the first one is right here. So we're going to put a P plus a C. Now what the heck does that mean? So what this means is this. For a fat loss result, okay, so just remember, we're after fat loss. There's other ways to eat, like if you're just purely going after, if you're going after athletic performance, or if you're going after only health and your weight's no concern, you're not after losing weight or anything, you don't have to be concerned with this. But if the reason you're here is to lose fat weight, or you're trying to get fat weight off your body, off your belly, off your butt, off your back, whatever it is for you that you can't stand anymore, you got to abide by these rules, okay? These are going to get you the fastest result, and it's going to get you the result that is going to make you look how you want to look so you can feel how you want to feel. So the P here is protein. So the first way to eat is you're going to combine protein foods and carbohydrate foods. Now, if you're someone who loves carbohydrates, this is how you're going to want to eat. Now, I want to point out something in this formula. If you eat this way, P plus C, you'll notice there's something missing from meals. And that something missing is fat, all right? Now, fat is very healthy for you, but when you're trying to eat for fat loss, you have to make a choice. You're either going to include fat or you're going to include carbs, not both. So we have protein plus carbs, and I'm going to put fat right here. Fat with a line through it, no fat, okay? And one of the plans that we have here at Altman Fitness is called the 28-day fat loss formula. If eating higher amounts of carbohydrates suits you better than not eating any carbohydrates, this is the plan you're going to want to choose, okay? And you're going to want to check out the 28-day fat loss formula plan. Let's move on to number 2. The second way to eat is protein plus fat, okay? And then, well, actually, let me back up just for 1 second so that we're clear on something. Vegetables are part of every plan. And no matter what diet plan you've ever seen out in the marketplace anywhere, whether it's, you name the one, I'm not going to name them off. You know the ones that are out there. They all include vegetables. And the reason for it is vegetables give you your nutrients, and nutrients is what gives you your health and your life and your vitality. So you always include vegetables. So up here, the number 1, where we're doing protein and carbs and no fat, when I refer to carbs, when I'm talking to you today, I'm referring to starchy carbs, things like rice and potatoes and things of that nature, okay? When I'm talking about vegetables, vegetables are also a carbohydrate, but they're a different kind of carbohydrate. They are a non-starchy carbohydrate, they're filled with fiber, and they're virtually calorie-free. Okay, so we're going to eat vegetables no matter which plan we're talking about here today. So just to be clear about that. Let's get back to the number 2 plan. In the number 2 plan, you're going to eat protein plus fat. And on this one, put a circle. Here we have carbs, and we have no carbs. And again, this is the starchy carbs, okay, not vegetables. So we eat protein plus fat, no starchy carbs. That's the way number 2. Now, if you're someone who doesn't really care about eating carbohydrates, but but you love to eat fat, you love all the flavor that fat offers into meals, which is my own personal preference, what makes me feel the best is what I work best with, then you're going to want to choose this. And in this plan, we have a different plan for you. It's called our Fit in 30 plan. So if you think you want to eat more in this style, I want you to check out Fit in 30. You're going to love it. It's recipes, all done for you. The calories are all mapped out. It's all done for you, okay? All you got to do is read it, follow it, and you're going to get an amazing result. Okay? Now there's a third way they can eat for fat loss. And the third way you would include all three. You include the protein, the fat, and the carbs. I would steer you away from this third option when you're first learning how to eat for fat loss, only because most people, it's too easy to make a mistake when eating all three of the macronutrients, the proteins, fats, and carbs together when you're first learning. Now, we do have a process for this. We have a system for it. It's called metabolic typing. Metabolic typing will give you a starting place of how much protein, how much fat, and how much carbs to eat at each meal, which is the best way, believe me. This is actually exactly what I do. I customize out the proteins, the fat, and the carbs. But I want to let you know that this third way is a process, and it takes time and it takes effort to learn. And while it's the best, it does take the time. So if you're wanting the fast result, I want you to start with one of these, either the 28-day fat loss formula here, or the Fit in 30 program here. And then once you've mastered one and or both of these systems, then move to metabolic typing. Then you can start customizing. And when you start customizing, what's going to happen, you're going to use some meals that you learned from the 28-day fat loss formula, and you're going to use some meals that you learned from the Fit in 30 program, and then you'll put it all together in a package that will be customized for you so that you not only get your fat loss result, but that you keep your fat loss result, right? Which is the point. We're trying to go from your A body to your B body. Okay? Now, I want to erase this for just a second over here because I want to show you something. I'm going to give you a little bit of the reasons why we eat one of these two ways when it comes to fat loss. So if we make a little chart here, and on this chart, if this is, let me just say it this way. If you eat foods that either are sugar or turn to sugar quickly, so let's say we eat, let's say a cookie, all right? You eat a cookie, your blood sugar is going to spike like this and then come back down. When your blood sugar spikes like this, what happens is your body gets an insulin response, okay? So this over here, be insulin, and you get an insulin response. You eat a sugary food, you get a big insulin response. When you get a big insulin response, your body stores any fat that's already in your blood away into stored fat, and then it's hard for our bodies to re-access that to use for energy. If you eat a food, say like protein, I'll just use chicken breast as an example, it has a very, very low sugar response. So it looks something like, marker to work, like that. You just get a small little rise in blood sugar, virtually zero insulin response, and so your body doesn't get the signal to go store away fat. Now let's imagine for a second that if you eat protein plus carbohydrate, say a protein, we'll call this chicken breast, and we'll call this, and then we eat it plus like we'll say sweet potato. Sweet potato has more sugars than a chicken breast, but not as much as a cookie, right? So we put both those foods into your body, and you don't get much of an insulin response, therefore you don't have any reason to store away fat. But if you eat protein plus carbs and a fat, even when we eat food like a chicken breast and say a sweet potato, now if we added, say, butter to the sweet potato, even this little bit of response in insulin, it's going to look for the fat that's floating around your blood, and it's going to store it away. It's going to pack it on to your body. Okay? So you want to avoid that. If you eat the protein plus fat kind of way, we can have, say, let me erase that. we'll say like a ribeye steak, fatty piece of meat, right? Maybe you love ribeye steaks like I do, don't know. But we'll say love a ribeye steak, very little insulin response. But also there's no carb here. There's nothing in this meal. We have the protein plus fat, and we're just gonna eat that next to some vegetables, say broccoli or whatever. There's no carbs, so very little insulin response, no carbs around to spike blood sugar. It's a very good system, a very good way to not store body fat by raising up your insulin level, right? So that's why this works. So either one of these work, the protein plus carb, as long as you don't have fat, because the carb will spike the blood sugar a little bit more. Or you can eat protein plus fat plus your vegetables. And again, because you're not having a carb or anything that's going to take your sugar or your something that is sugar and it's going to boost insulin level up, then you have a very good chance to not store body fat, which is the goal. If you're not storing body fat, then we're doing the right kinds of exercise. We're going to actually access the stored body fat so that you can get the result that you're after. That's why I say avoid this third way for now until you learn how to eat this way and this way. And then when you start putting it together, we'll help you with it, but there's a custom way to put this together so that you can include carbs, so that you can include fat, and you do it in a way that works with your body, with your body's own natural cortisol rhythms and so on, and some other things we'll talk about down the road, okay? But for now, just understand protein plus carbs with vegetables, of course, or protein with fat, no carbs with vegetables again, of course, would be your best two ways to eat for fat loss, okay? All right, again, the top one, if eating the carbs is your thing, check out the 28-day fat loss formula. There's a link just below or somewhere near this video. And if you don't necessarily care about the carbs, try out Fit in 30. You'll love that too. They both have great recipes. I'm slightly biased to Fit in 30. I'm not necessarily a big carb lover, but I know there's a lot of carb lovers out there. So if you're a carb lover, try out the 28-day fat loss formula. And if you're not a carb lover, don't care about the carbs, check out Fit in 30. Again, the links are somewhere near this video. They're just below or just above or somewhere around. Those links are there. So check those out and do one of those plans. It's going to help you a lot, and you're going to get your result very fast. All right? That's the lesson on nutrition. I hope that helps clear things up to make sense for you. If you have any further questions, again, reach out, let us know. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye. Okay, so now we've learned about how to eat for fat loss, right? So you're either going to check out the 28-day fat loss formula, or you're going to check out the Fit in 30 program. If you've already done one of those somehow with us, then talk to us about metabolic typing. We'll talk to you about that. We'll take you all the way through it and help you get on board with that so you can figure out how to customize the diet plan that's exactly right for you, okay? That said, what you want to do right now is do the assignment below. And after you do the assignment, I want you then to get excited about day number 4. Day number 4, I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about supplements. Now, before we get there, I want you to know there's nothing better than real food, which we learned about today. That said, I know for myself and for those I've worked with over the years here that we can't always fit in great food. So I'm going to be talking to you about supplements tomorrow. I'm going to be talking to you about supplements that are foundational supplements. I'm going to be talking to you about supplements that are for fat loss. And I'm going to be talking to you about convenience supplements that maybe can help replace a meal, stuff like that, okay? So I'm excited for it because it helps bridge the gap when you need just some tips or tricks or little ways to fill in between our whole foods eating. I'm going to kind of go through all that with you and why not you maybe should consider supplements or why you maybe should not consider supplements. But we'll go through that tomorrow. Right now, do task for day number 3. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys.